Hello students, welcome back to the second session of subject Universal Human Values and Professional Ethics. In the last class, we talked about different terms such as values, morals and ethics. Now in this session, we are going to talk about concept and need of value education, and we will also discuss guidelines for value education. So, to begin with, we will just see what we have seen in the last class. That is, what is a value? So value, as per dictionary meaning, is the importance or worth or usefulness of something. We had seen that value of any unit in this existence is its participation in the larger order of which it is a part. So we had seen that value of pen is that it can write. So we had also seen different examples like of spinach plant, laptop, curtains, etc. By this, we have started understanding that what is the value of an object around us. So, in that sense, we are also one of the part in the environment. So, what is the value of human being then? This question implies another question. What is the participation of human being in the bigger order? So how to identify that? In case of pen, the participation was in the writing process. For human beings, the participation could vary according to context. So let us see one example of your participation in the process of education is to understand what is being taught. So your value is to make efforts to understand. So depending on the what process you are doing, your participation will change and accordingly the value will differ. This is applicable to human as well as different objects. So the value of human being is its natural or expected participation in the larger order at the level of individual, at the level of family, at the level of society, and ultimately at the level of nature or existence. So it is interesting to note that you feel happy in the process of fulfilling your participation in the larger order. So happiness is what is achieved when we participate in the process. So in this example, which we had already discussed, if you understand what has been taught, you feel happy. Alright, and your teacher also feels happy when you participate in understanding what is being taught you. So your teacher is happy when you are participating. Alright, so this is how it is. For human being, this bigger order includes other human being, plants, air, water, soil, animals, birds, etc. That is the entire nature or existence. So when I talk about human being, now this is that second definition from the dictionary meaning. When the values are formed in the human being, what are the inputs? So something we get from our family and friends, from our culture we learn something, from surrounding environment and our own belief system we learn, and based on that our values are formed. So, what is the value education? The part of education that deals with understanding of one's participation in the larger order and thus ensuring it in living is called as value education. So, we have to understand the part of education. Value education is part of education that will deal with understanding of one's participation. So, when I talk as a teacher, what is my participation in teaching you? So if I understand that and ensure that it is going smoothly with how I live, then it is called as value education. It forms the basis for rest of the education as well. Do you agree with this? So here the purpose is to make life fulfilling than just to earn money. So whatever we are doing, that is giving us meaning, that is making our life fulfilling. The subject which enables us to understand what is valuable for human happiness is called value education. As I have talked to you about this thing also when I had introduced about the subject, that you have learned this concept of values when you were in schools. It has been introduced to you, but we have never gone through a systematic way of learning it. So this semester has given us this opportunity when we can learn that what is valuable for us, and along with your skill education. So I hope you all will be happy to learn it. Value education enables us to understand our needs and visualize our goals correctly, and also indicates the direction of their fulfillment. It also helps us to remove our confusions and contradictions and bring harmony at all levels. So whenever I am doing some tasks, if I have understood my needs correctly, if I have understood my goals correctly, then while doing that task, I will not be confused. I will not have contradictions in my mind whether I should do it or not. This happens when we are not sure of whether we want to really do it or not. That time we are not peaceful while doing that task. We always are having this feeling, oh, why I am doing this, why I am doing this. But if we have proper understanding of why we are doing it, then it is going to bring harmony and we will do the tasks without any confusion. The another area is skill education. So consider any area of life and you will notice that skills are required and used. So at this moment of time you are learning through learning management system. So to handle this system you require particular skills. You should know how you should operate the browser first, then you should know how you can search through different subjects. You should be able to understand how your class has been scheduled. You should be able to go there, you should be able to understand it. Okay, so you need skills, all right, in any area. Consider the very basic example. I want to prepare food, so the skill required is I should be able to make rotis, I should be able to make sabzi. Consider another area of life. I want to plant something, so I should know how to dig the soil, how to plant that seed, how to water it. So any area of life you consider and you will notice that skills are required. So skills have been developed to such a fine extent in every area. You consider any area and you will find that there are people who have developed quite a greater amount of skills in that area, considering computer as a branch, and you will find out that the technology has developed so nicely that even now if I tell you that very soon virtual computers will be launched, we will not be surprised. We have seen that with computers it has become possible to have automation in all the areas of life. So skills have been developed to a larger extent. Now what is important is that it is essential to decide the purpose for which skills are used. I can prepare so I can prepare a sword having very excellent sharpness, and but where I'm going to use it. So I do not know for what purpose I have developed it. If it is used for cutting something which is useful for humans, then it is good. If I have developed it for war purpose, then question mark. So it is important that we understand why particular skill has to be developed, where it has to be used. So there is complementarity of values and skills. How? We will understand. Now you see, do we need only values to live peacefully? You name any value, and I would say honesty is the value I value so much. So whether only honesty is needed in every walk of life? With only honesty, whether I'll be able to sustain? Question mark. Whether we need only skills, so I can make a presentation very nicely. I have that skill. Nice. But without value? Question mark. So only values and only skills. Are we going in that direction? Of course, no. So value education is going to give us the clarity of our goal, our basic aspiration, and program to fulfill that basic aspiration. It is going to answer us the question what to do. Whether the domain which addresses the issue which is related to how to do is called as skill education, and skills are going to help me once I have decided that I want to do it for this purpose. Skills will help me in doing it. So skills help us learn methods and techniques to implement the program which we have found out in our value education. So now how to decide which one will come first, values or skills? How we are going to decide that? What to do or how to do? So I'll give you an example of one scenario where I go to say railway station and I ask for a ticket. So the station master asks me, "Madam, where would you like to go?" And I will keep on explaining him that I want a very nice train with AC compartment in it, and I want food services to be very nice, and I want water to be available at all the times. I want the washrooms to be very clean. I want that newspaper should be available. I want books should be available. But the person would interrupt and would say, "Madam, but where would you like to go?" And I would say, no, but I want a train ticket of super fast train. It should reach within very short duration of time. Again, the person would interrupt and say, "Hello madam, excuse me, but where would you like to go?" And I will keep on explaining. Now, did you understand? So, this question of whether values will come first or skills will come first will be answered by this scenario. If I am not clear of where I want to go, then how I am going to go is of no question. So that is why values have higher priority over skills, and both of these are essential for human welfare. I know that I want to reach somewhere, but if I do not know how to go there, it is useless. I know that how I want to travel, but I am not sure of my destination. Of course, then it is out of question. So if we consider priority of values over skills, then of course values has got higher priority. Now we are going to discuss about basic guidelines which we are going to apply for value education. Now if we talk about value education, then one of the parameter is it should be universal. Now what does it mean? So it implies that it is applicable to every individual for all times and space. It should not happen that the value which was important today is obsolete tomorrow, or the value which is very much important in this place is not at all acceptable at other place. This should not happen when we talk about values. So value education should be universal. It should be rational. Value education should be in accordance with human reasoning. I should be able to justify for that. Okay. It should be secular. It should not be dependent on any caste, creed or religion. Natural. Value education course should be accepted naturally. Now this process we are going to learn, don't worry. But whatever proposals I am going to keep in front of you, if it is not acceptable to you, then you should not accept it. Alright? Verifiable. Now there should be means for its fulfillment in nature. It should not be a mere theory based on assumption. Whatever proposals I am going to put in front of you, it should not happen that it is just a theory and it does not hold any practical importance. It should not happen. All encompassing. It needs to cover all the dimensions, that is thought, behavior, work and realization, and it should be applicable to all levels, that is individual, family, society, nature and existence of human life and profession. So these are the guidelines which we are going to follow, and ultimately where we want to reach is it should lead to harmony. The aim is to promote harmony at all walks of life, that is as individual level, family level, society level and at nature level, that is existence level. Now what we will be doing is, during this course is, we will be identifying our goals, we will learn how to develop a holistic perspective, we are going to get the clarity on program to live with holistic perspective, we are going to evaluate our beliefs. Okay, it is said that it is very much easier to look at what others are doing, but when we introspect ourselves, it is a bigger task. So what we are going to do is we are going to analyze our own belief systems. We are going to try to find out solution of existing problems. We are going to develop the ethical competence in this area, and we are going to learn this process of value education through self exploration. Of course, the resources from where I have developed the content remains the same, and you go through it and complete the activities we are going to discuss very soon. Thank you. See you in the next session.